Hi. It is Sister Wives rewatch time because there's Graham, just kind of gramming, I guess. So, it's been a long day. I decided that today was the day I was going to go outside and do a bunch of yard work. Husband was working a later shift, so he had to take a nap. And I was like, okay, well, then I'm just going to go and do a bunch of yard work. So I mowed, I weed whacked. I actually dug up our back. We have like a raised bed on the ground, and I dug that out and planted some stuff in there because I know I'm getting started way late. I would have liked to have this stuff in the ground at the beginning of the month, but y'all know I've been going through some health concerns. I've been going through some stuff behind the scenes, but like I got it all done. We're gonna have different, I'm growing a couple different kinds of zucchini. I'm growing like 5 or 6 different varieties of tomato, several different varieties of peppers, black beans, watermelon. I'm really excited about the multiple kinds of zucchini and squash though. Oh, so excited for that. I put some lettuce in the ground, just a bunch of stuff, like artisanal lettuce. But like, I did it dumb. And so I'm digging it out by hand because I don't have a rototiller. And I pinched my flesh in between my engagement ring and my wedding band because my dodo butt didn't take my rings off before using the shovel. So now I have a boo-boo hand. So that's fun. Anyway, so we are here to get back to our Sister Wives rewatch. I know everything's been kind of on pause while I was going through some stuff. So it is one of the episodes I actually really enjoy of the early seasons because I think obviously things just get better as time goes on. So we're going to hop back into that. But first, hi, if you're new here, my name's Cozy. I like to snark about sister wife related reality television shows here on YouTube. I do like to remind you these videos are for entertainment purposes only, and these are not facts. They are just opinions about public figures who share their lives publicly on television. Cool? Cool. All right, so let's hop into it. And yeah, I'm just excited to get this done. So it is the pumpkin carving episode, the Halloween episode, if you will. And it is absolute chaos at the Brown house as everyone is like trying to get ready for pizza at the park. The park pizza palooza prior to the pumpkin patch picking, and I am determined to say as many P words as I can in this video, as I can personally pick out of my potentially prolific vocabulary. It's possibly going to be the most perfectly pet peeve inducing production I have to date. I'm not sorry. I have to entertain myself somehow. So to the thesaurus we go for this particularly poignant piece. Y'all. If somebody in the comments figures out how many P words I said, that would be hilarious. I didn't look. I didn't count. But anyway, all kidding aside, the family is headed out for a fun day together. And I've always really enjoyed seeing the kids pick out the perfect pumpkins and get this chance to carve them and enjoy it because fall is my absolute favorite season. I love the fall. And so like sitting in the middle of this stormy heat wave in May, I am ready for pumpkin patches and pumpkin spice lattes and cool breezes and cozy sweaters. I'm down for it. I'm here for it. And Cody is trying so hard to herd these children into the cars and very bravely offers for a teenage child to drive. Listen, I remember being a teenager. I remember learning to drive, and the amount of times that I have backed out incorrectly while learning because I forgot which direction you're supposed to turn the wheel when you back out is probably pretty high. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I definitely did that as I was going out onto my parents' dirt road the one day because it goes in 2 directions, and I was like, oh, I just needed to go to the grocery store to pick up something. Ha ha ha, because I was arguing with my kids in the back seat about what we were doing next. I definitely played that off like they were going to know whether or not I backed out incorrectly. Thankfully, like I said, it's a dirt road. There was nobody else there to see me do something that dumb. But Mary's like, how am I old enough to have kids that are driving? And I feel that. So I just turned 35 this past Sunday, right? And I had a complete breakdown. Just like a complete breakdown. I'm 35. My babies are going to kindergarten. My oldest is going to be in middle school. I can't be this old. And I like broke down in tears on my birthday because for the first time in my life it actually hit me that I'm aging. Like I know a lot of people like get super sad at like 30 or 40 or whatever. This was the first year in my life where I was like, oh man, I'm not as young as I thought I was. And like, yeah, I don't know. It was wild. Anyway, but Janelle is watching everybody pile into the seats. And she is frustrated because she knows everybody wants to take their own car. So there's always extra seats. And I think she's really being reasonable because we have moms shouting, I have 3 seats, I have this seats. If you have that many seats, then you're wasting gas because if you have that many open seats, that means that there is a car that shouldn't be being taken. I get it. And the kids are now jumping between the cars trying to find the perfect place to put their posterior. So if Cody had just ridden with Mary or potentially with Robin, that car would have been full. I think even Christine had 3 seats left because it's a waste to take his car at all. But Janelle says she is ready to make a seating assignment chart because this takes so long. And Mary says, well, but it's about which kids are getting along with each other and which moms. Bull snot. Complete bull snot. I grew up in a family of 4 kids. No one was going to take an extra car because I didn't like how my sister breathed earlier that day. And I have 3 kids. You don't want to ride with somebody? Great. Walk to church. That sounds really harsh. We literally live a less than 5-minute walk from our church. Like, we don't actually ever drive to church unless it's raining or snowing because it would cost more to turn the engine over. So, that sounded terrible, but it's not as bad. You make a chart, or you realize that being a passenger princess for a day isn't the worst thing that's ever happened. Gas is too expensive to be playing these games. So the pizza piece actually looks pretty good. I'm a big fan of the topping choices that I'm seeing. There's something with a little bit of everything for everybody. If you asked me to build my perfect pizza, it's pepperoni, black olives, and mushrooms all day long. I don't know that, only with a red sauce though. A white sauce is different. White sauce, if you don't have banana peppers, you've done something incorrectly. And if you have pepperoni with a white sauce, don't talk to me. No, I'm kidding. I'm not serious at all. But I do want to hear, sound off in the comments. Tell me, what are your pizza topping combos? Because I'm going to add them to my roster. Now that I have to make all my own pizza because I can't eat pizza out anymore, I am trying to find things that I want to try. Also, pineapple can belong on pizza. Not every pizza, but a Hawaiian pizza should have some pineapple. Anyway, my kids though, it is pepperoni or supreme. No in-betweens. You cannot just like build something that doesn't have all of the stuff or none of the stuff. So, funny story though. I have a sister, right? A younger sister, and we're going to call her Missy for the sake of the story. That's not even close to her real name, but I don't have permission to share her name, so Missy, okay? So we're at the store one time, and Missy is just like trying to talk to my mom. And my mom is standing in front of the freezer section looking at these frozen pizzas, just like trying to pick out a frozen pizza, right? And just yells out of nowhere, we're not getting a cheese pizza, Missy. Like super loud. People are looking at us. No one was asking for a cheese pizza. We don't understand. So now, anytime in my life that somebody tries to interrupt something or is like trying to ask something stupid, we just yell, we aren't getting a cheese pizza, Missy. Out of the blue. I actually have called her before and just said that and hung up. Like, just a weird story that I thought of. So, Christine's like, we almost never do pizza because it's way too expensive. So, I looked up the average cost of a pizza in 2011. I was just curious, how much did I think this pizza feast could have potentially cost? So, it was $15 in 2011, the average for a large pizza. And in one shot that we can see they have 9 pizzas on the table, which is about $135. So, assuming that these are in fact larges and they have an average of 10 slices, that's 90 slices of pizza just in that one shot alone, or enough pizza for everyone except Truly to have 4.2 slices of pizza individually. I would bet that they definitely had leftovers because that's a lot of pizza. Also, why did I look it up? I don't know. I was bored and wanted to do math, I guess. But Cody lets us know that it has been 5 months since the wedding, and he thinks Robin's kids have integrated really well since then. And Robin says, and you guys have integrated into my family too. And the wives laugh, but Cody kind of looks a little like, are you serious? Come on. That's not how this works. And part of me kind of wants to laugh and be like, aha, that's kind of cute and funny. But the other part, the like super petty part, is like, lady, you came into an established family. I think you kind of need to integrate more than they do. which is super petty because it's not true. Everybody needs to get along with each other. But the petty part of me knows that what Robin really means is you guys are going to learn to follow my rules, because that's how I've seen this play out over the last 18 seasons. And the less petty part of me was like, she's really just trying to find her place. You know, the petty piece is going to win. That's how this is going to work. I'm petty. But Logan's like, listen, the transition's been really successful and smooth. And I have my doubts it's been as smooth as he says it is, but that's okay. I think the kids probably did absorb Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna pretty easily, because kids tend to be very open that way. Kids tend to open their hearts and want to be friends. And now we've heard that there was so much behind the scenes drama and turmoil and heartache. And a lot of that got brought out in season 18 with that dramatic text thread. So, I don't know. Aurora's like, my mom married Cody in June. It was May. That's fine. You're little. We forgive her. We forgive her for being confused. She says they joined the family and it's been really fun. She loves being in this family. And as Aurora's trying to explain the family tree, it has so many branches, Brianna's like bent over like this with her piggy tails. And we see Gwen kind of messing with her, kind of like maybe tickling her with her foot. I'm not entirely certain. And all of a sudden, Brianna's crying. You don't really see what happened. And she's like, my hair got pulled. Of course, Gwen apologizes, and then we get Robin sharing how thin-skinned Brianna is. And that might be true, or she could be acting out because suddenly she feels lost in a sea of children. She went from being the youngest of 3 to being in the middle of like 16. Could you imagine? I am the oldest of 4. If you suddenly plopped me into a situation where now I'm like the middle child, I'm not going to know what to do with myself. I'll be honest. I have oldest child energy. If you guys were not getting oldest child vibes off of me, I don't know what to tell you. I am an oldest child. I am a Gemini. I don't know if that means anything, but that's who I am. This is a huge, massive transition, and it would easily foster this environment of crying for attention, because you know you're going to get it. Your mom pays attention to you every time you cry. And I am not saying her hair didn't get pulled by any means. I'm just saying that looking deeper, instead of calling her thin-skinned, recognize that she is still struggling probably with going from being the baby to not. But Robin's like, listen, the boys get frustrated, Brianna, and calls out Dayton and Garrison very specifically. And so we have the 4 boys who are closest in age sitting on the couch, and Dayton is like, oh my gosh, she cries all the time. And Gabe's trying to be super diplomatic, and he's like, well, listen, I like them, they have great personalities, but Brianna will cry for no reason. The teens defend all of the kids in their own way, and Aspen's like, listen, they were just raised differently. And Maddie points out that they cry about things that the Brown kids would have been told, knock it off and go play. And I admit, I can be that knock it off and go play mom. Like, if you're seriously going to cry because your sister sang the ABCs when you wanted to sing Mary Had a Little Lamb, stop crying. She's done. Just sing the song. Like, there's no reason to scream at me at this point. Just sing it. I will still love her and explain to her that it's okay to have feelings, but just sing. If you are upset because I gave you the purple plate and you wanted the pink plate, instead of screaming at me, just say, could you please wash the pink plate? And I will give you the pink plate for dinner. It is not the end of the world. I want my kids to express their feelings, but I want them to express them in really healthy ways instead of just crying and whining, because people are going to tune them out and not help them if all they do is cry and whine. Logan says that all of this is teaching them more patience, and as a mom of small children, yes, it probably is. So they gather up the kids after a bit of playing, and it is off to the pumpkin patch to pick perfectly pleasant and plump pumpkins. The patch is this large farm with lots of activities for the kids. We have things like that around here. There's like hay mazes and bunny snuggles at the one they go to, and even Truly gets to get in on the bunny cuddles. And Mary's like, listen, it was so much fun for the kids. And Christine snorts. And it's like, it's so much fun for the kids. So much fun for you. I saw you out there. And then we get a shot of Mary jumping on the hay-covered trampoline. So Cody is like sending the kids out to the field to go pick their pumpkins, which is super cool. We have this farmer's market near us that they do pumpkins in the fall, but they cut them all and deliver them to like a specific field where you just walk rows of already cut pumpkins to pick them out rather than going and like finding them on the vine, which I always thought would be super cool, but I haven't found a place near us that does it. But the pumpkins are always huge where we're at, and they're so pretty. So it's still fun to go through and like find the absolute right one. And my kids have never gone for the big pumpkins, ever. They usually find like really almost perfectly round ones. I don't know what it is. The boy is starting to get into that big pumpkin thing though. Yes, but I am super excited for this fall and to carve them outside, and I want to roast the pumpkin seeds for movie snacks, so I'm just waiting for the season to hit. So we get back to Janelle carrying this like half green, half orange, just it's so round and cute, and I love it. And Mary is trying to help lift a pumpkin that is too big for Isabel to do by herself for sure. And Robin's like, this is so exciting for some of the kids because they've never gotten to carve pumpkins before. My little ones are going to get a chance to carve for the very first time, obviously with assistance. We've always just colored or painted on them in the past with the twins because there was, I love them. They were not ready. But all the kids in the Brown family had very specific ideas of what they were looking for their pumpkin, whether it's round and small or giant and bright orange. They all knew what they liked. So Mary finds this little round one that's pretty green still, and she's like, I love it. I need it. And yes, she does. And she picks up this pumpkin for Dayton, and he is like, nope, can't do it. You got to do it. And so she goes to pile it on this massive stack of pumpkins that they have in the wheelbarrows and in the wagons, and they have 18 so far. And Cody's like, I think we need 24. Okay, that seems like overkill since there's 21 of you, but all right, cool. They end up with that many anyway, so whatevs. They are dragging these wheelbarrows and these wagons, back to the way station. I could not come up with the word wagon. I kept wanting to say sleds. They're not sleds. And Cody is like teasing Mary while the boys are trying to reconfigure all the wheeled apparatus. Cody's like standing there like, oh, do you think you can do it? Just grab something. Stop standing there. He does eventually, but like the more I see him just stand around and let everyone work around him, I just get so annoyed with that. Don't just stand there. Do something. But the teens point out that Mary is not one to dilly-dally. She wants to get things done, and she is going to take the initiative to do it. And all of them agree that it's not that Mary is the leader because she's the first wife. She is the leader because of her personality and her ability to just, like, bull in a china shop, get stuff done. I don't feel like we see that as much from Mary in the later seasons, but in the beginning, we definitely do see her being the take charge, get it done kind of gal. Mary says that the weigh-in showed between 500 and 600 pounds of pumpkin, and I'd be grateful for the multiple cars now, because I would not want to put all of that in the trunk of mine. But she helped leave all those pumpkins around, and she is feeling great about it. So Halloween day hits, and it is pumpkin carving time. And we always did ours a few days before to keep them, like, super healthy until that night. But I don't know what the time frames are for other areas. So I'm guessing those who live in, like, a more warm climate, probably you guys wait longer to carve yours, while Midwesterners are just lucky if it's not snowing on Trick or Treat, and our little frozen pumpkins stay preserved longer. Listen, some of y'all have never had to shove a snowsuit under a princess dress, and it shows. That has been my whole life. I'm still doing it for my kids. The wives are dressing up to take the kids trick-or-treating that evening after their little carving party, and the kids are out in the leaves. They're just having a great time. Logan is trying to gather kids to help, collect the pumpkins, and Savannah grabs this little one, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I love it. It is like super squat and orange. It's like so precious. And Robin's like, I'm gonna go get the carving kits now, which I would have thought you would have done well before you gathered the okay. And she's like, and Madison needs egg drop soup. Something I literally have never requested in my life, and I'm not even sure I've ever actually eaten. But alright, I guess whatever. Cody's like, do we have any red hair stuff? And she's like, hairspray? Yeah, I want to be Sammy Hagar. And one of the kids, I didn't catch who it was, is like, who's Sammy Hagar? And he is about to go off on a wild tangent about, like, how do you not know this? And Robin's like, whoa, 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 red hairspray. What do you want? And he's like, yeah, just like really light. Bro, for Halloween, you're going to look like Ronald McDonald. That's the color that comes in. So Mary is explaining that they need to get the pumpkins carved and get costumes ready because trick-or-treats are coming. And Robin's like, the wives are all going to be the 4 elements: earth, wind, water, and fire. And so Janelle's like, we would try to convince Cody to be the avatar, and he said no. And I'm assuming that would be the last airbender, not anything else, because I can't think of anything else that would control the elements. And Robin's like, he couldn't be the avatar anyway, because the avatar controls the elements, and he doesn't control us. Alright. It still would have been fun and kind of cute. So Logan's like, hey, get the gunk out of here, or the brains of the pumpkin, as he also calls it. And he's like, it goes in the buckets. Smart. One time we threw our pumpkins into our raised bed one year, not thinking about the fact that we hadn't carved them, and so they were full of seeds, because we were like, oh, it'll just fertilize the soil. And then next year, when all of a sudden my entire raised bed was just filled with pumpkin vines that produced exactly 0 pumpkins, my husband was less than happy about it. Anyway, Brad could suggest a pumpkin gunk fight, and I am actually surprised that it didn't happen. But Robin's like, listen, there's so many kids, I don't see it as overwhelming. They're just my kids. And she's surprised by their capacity to have another mom come in and boss them around. And I would be too, actually. But the kids seem generally pretty respectful and willing to be a help in these early seasons. So the idea that we give her some grace isn't beyond it. I just wish they would have kept that energy as time had gone on, because I noticed that Robin really has a tendency to call out kids by name that she feels like have wronged her in some capacity, in my opinion. Think Hunter not being happy enough with the Vegas move and Solomon, and it does tend to feel like it's the boys. All of a sudden, Gabe's like, a police officer came because someone called them, and everybody sort of stopped, stunned. Cody dialed 911 allegedly, but they're all on edge from this investigation because you don't know if it's going to move to yet another step. The adults have the kids calling them if they see cops on the street to make sure they're okay. Tell me you aren't coping in a healthy way without telling me you aren't coping in a healthy way, because adult anxiety shouldn't be children's problems. Just my opinion. Janelle said that she decided for Halloween she's just having fun. She's not worrying about this. Good. She recalls how proud the kids were of their pumpkins and just shocked at the sheer number of them. And Logan's like, there's 24, and Gwen points out, there should be 21. Yes, I said that. I don't know who carved the extra 3, though. But it's time to get everybody ready for trick-or-treat. And Christine is busy curling Cody's hair, as he says he's going to be the sun since the wives of the elements. Listen, yeah, perfect, great. Christine did not have 6 children to get ready to be playing with your hair. And so she questions him, and he's like, I don't even know what I am anymore. All my ideas get shot down, so just curl my hair. And Christine, to her credit, just continues to curl his hair. He's a big boy. Hand him a curling iron and tell him to figure it out. Like, YouTube exists. It's 2011. YouTube videos exist. And Christine's like, I thought we settled in you being man because man is powerless against the elements. And he so sarcastically is like, yeah, that's wonderful. I so want to be powerless in this wonderful family. And she rolls her eyes and pulls a face, as she absolutely should. Because, of course, Cody can't do anything fun that would damage his ego. Bro, it's like D&D. It's a character. Not everything about your character is exactly who you are. For pity's sake, if you have a forgiving enough DM, you can try to be a piece of bread that casts Mage Hand to carry itself around. I actually don't think that would ever really work, but you get my point. It's all in fun. No one is a piece of bread. Cody hates fun. Changed my mind. Cody hates fun. Mary's outside helping the kids to use the pumpkins to block her door and funnel the traffic toward Janelle's. And Janelle agrees it would be confusing to come up to a house with 2 front doors because you're not sure where you're supposed to go. And so at Janelle's, they are now face painting. It's like a face painting party. And the kids are in various states of costuming. And some know what they are, and some have no idea and just throw pieces together because they're going to get candy. Perfect. Robin says it was kind of fun to get creative and get into each other's personal space. And Mary is like wrapping Janelle in flowers while Christine is gagging on the glitter spray. And Robin is covering Christine with the glitter spray. Cody's like, I didn't paint any faces. I just got painted and feel like a rock star clown. And Mary's like, yeah, you kind of look like a clown. Good, he did. So he took that super well, obviously, just like you'd expect. And Janelle's like, as the family starts to gel, we just have this energy to do these things together. And Cody's like, the makeup was embarrassing and my hair is always awful, so it was just slightly worse than normal. To which Robin comments, the fifth wife is Cody's hair. I think also the fifth wife is Cody's car. And, well, I don't know. I guess it's how you count now, because I would say you only have one. The little girls argue over who was air and who was water. And even Aspen doesn't know who was what, because no one seemed to. But Cody tries to clear it up. Christine was air, Mary was fire, Janelle was earth, and Robin was water. And Maddie's like trying to get philosophical about it. It's like the sun can't function without the elements can't function without the sun. Trying to come up with something, and gets rightly called out as being super corny. The kids are having a blast collecting candy, though, because Cody's like, no one rejects you if your costume is stupid. Everyone gives you candy. And he's right. This is a low-stress holiday for children. Cody hands out the candy in the darkest space ever. Y'all get a porch light. Just saying. And the boys come back to drop off candy and go back out. So, of course, Cody's got to collect the dad tax. And with that many children, he is bound to actually find something good. I have 3 children. That is not enough for a good mom tax. Just saying. They always hide the good stuff before I can even try to pick. Won't matter. I can't eat their candy anymore anyway. So Christine says she is over answering the question about how well Robin's kids are meshing with the family. And Mary agrees. It's done. Done deal. Stop asking. No more questions. It's over. So we know in season 18, they actually are going to question that that's the case based off of how the Christmas group text went. So this is where we get it seems like destiny. Like we should have been together from day one from Robin. She couldn't have picked a better family. But you did pick this family. So I'm glad you enjoy it. At any rate, that is episode 4 of season 2. And I love that one. I just love the pumpkins. I love it so much. I cannot wait for fall here. I know it is almost June. It is the worst time of year. I hate summer. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. So I am not looking forward to this summer. Other than that, yeah, I did a ton of yard work today. I didn't get sunburned. I would show you guys, but I put this shirt on. Okay, so my husband loves anime, right? Husband loves anime. And he just started getting me watching Naruto with him. So I borrowed his Naruto shirt to sleep in because I don't know, I thought it would be fun. I have not gotten super far into it. I think we're only like 15 episodes in. So I don't know anything yet, but I'm excited to keep watching it with him. Other than that, I don't really have much else. Other than a couple people have expressed interest in seeing some of the things that I have been baking lately. I've been making homemade Pop-Tarts, and I made the Oreos, and I bake bread, and I do all that stuff. So I had said in a comment back that I would consider potentially doing like a live stream one night so we could all just chit-chat while I bake. If I can get my husband to keep the kiddos out of the way since they're not allowed to be on YouTube, I will definitely look into doing something like that. So if you would be interested in a just baking palooza live stream, let me know. If you're not, that's cool too. You don't have to come if we decide to do it. I will still love you and I will still be here with the regular videos because I know live streams aren't for everybody. So other than that, I can't wait to see you guys again soon. I will have the Seeking Sister Wife video out probably the day after this one goes live because I just didn't have time to sit down and watch the whole thing today. So other than that, I will see you soon. Toodles. Bye.